Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm Ashton from Lofi.Book.Club. Thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to subscribe and become part of the club and leave a comment below. I really want to build like a community on this platform, so I'd love to interact with you all and reply to as many of you as possible, so just leave me a little comment. In today's video, I want to discuss de-influencing. Now, this has been really big over in like the beauty space, which is somewhere that I do spend a lot of my time because from my job, that's where I spend a lot of time, and it's also an interest of mine too. But I have been seeing it on BookTok quite a lot, so I wanted to watch some de-influencing BookTok videos with you and just discuss them really. See if we agree with them or see if we can be de-influenced, because sometimes I need de-influencing. I'm a little bit of a spender. So I could probably do with being told not to spend. No, I'm joking. If I want to spend money, I'll spend money. But sometimes there's no reason to, and it's just because I'm being influenced, possibly, probably, by people online. So yeah, let's just watch these together. Okay, I'm in position. I feel like this is the position that I'm going to be in whenever we do TikTok videos. Is this just comfy cozy? Autumn comfy cozy vibe? Okay, let's watch this first one.
These are some things that I'm de-influencing as a reader. Buying books that you typically would not buy, but you're buying them because they're on sale. Don't do it. If you weren't going to read it before, you're not going to read it just because it was on sale. Don't do it. And this goes for those dollar Kindle books too. Don't do it. Buying special editions of a series in particular, if it's just one book, I get it. But buying a whole new version of the series that you already own just because it's new covers, you don't need it. Just stick to the series that you have.
Okay, hang on. So you bought the new series. Will you keep the new series and the old one that you had? Because I did that with a couple of Stephen King ones. So they brought out like Halloween editions. So I have recently got rid of the duplicates that I had and I've kept the one series. But then did I even need the Halloween series? Because I already had the books, right? I don't know.
Don't need to keep a ton of books that you just don't like. You can either give them to a friend, donate them, put them in one of those free libraries, do something like that so you can give back and not keep the books that you are never going to touch again.
Yeah, I think those are valid. Before I started this channel, I actually decluttered my bookshelf and I had duplicates of things. I hadn't really thought about it. I don't think I just had kept everything. It was just silly. So the copy of the cover that I didn't like the least, or that I didn't like the most, I gave away.
Here's some things I'm de-influencing as a reader. You don't need a book subscription and loads of special editions, especially if you've not read the book before and don't know if you're going to enjoy it.
Okay, hang on, sorry, let's just go back to that first point. Book subscriptions. I've only ever had one book subscription in my whole life, and it was actually during lockdown, and the company went bust because they were being bad. I've seen tons of book subscriptions on BookTok, and now I did try and sign up for one. Fairy Loot, I think it was. Or was it? I don't know. I got put on like a waiting list anyway for months, and I actually did get an email, but I think a month or two ago, saying that I could sign up now because they obviously had room for another person to join. I went through to the checkout, and it's like, because it's like every month, and it's about 30, I think it was like 25, 30 pounds, which is a lot of money for books I don't know if I'm gonna like. Also, a lot of other bits. I don't need loads of like, I don't know, just like little props from books that I haven't read. And that's what I feel like all these book subscriptions would be. So I do agree with that. Like the book subscription, you don't need a book subscription. I think it is quite fun. You get like free artwork and things like that, but they're quite expensive.
You don't need to read loads of books to be a good reader. If you read one book a year, you're a reader.
I like that she said that, because I would class myself as a big reader because I do read like constantly, but I don't read fast. So I don't read many books. I probably read like one or two a month. I did try and do the Goodreads challenge where I like set myself a target, and I've kind of just felt forced into having to like read shit. I mean, I feel that way too. If you just read one book a year, you're still a reader. And I do get overwhelmed when I see like on BookTube, even on here, on YouTube, on BookTok, these people with tons of books, they're giving me their top 10 that they've read that month or one book a day, 2 books a day, and I'm just like, that, I feel really overwhelmed. I don't want to watch that because that's not exciting for me. I feel like I'm not good enough because I'm not at the same level of reading. So I agree with that. I think that's really nice. And you're right, you don't have to read a ton of books to be a reader.
While buying books and reading books in this community are often considered quite different hobbies, don't buy loads of new books if you know you're never going to read them, or at least buy secondhand.
I agree, but I don't know if can you see them? I have June, Edgar Allan Poe, Penny Dreadful, Brother Grimm. So yeah, I've got like nice looking books. I am one of them. I mean, I've bought books that I haven't read and I just like the look of them. That is a habit that I need to be de-influenced from, so.
And let's not forget the library. I definitely need to use it more.
I forget about the library too.
Equally, I see lots of people on BookTok with multiple editions of the same book. This is not normal. Finally, you probably don't need the latest all singing, all dancing Kindle. Feel free to just redecorate the one you already have.
You don't need them, but if you want to have all the Kindles, do it. I mean, I'm probably a bad influence, to be honest, because sometimes I feel like buying stuff makes me happy. Oh god, I'm a terrible consumer, honestly. What I will say though is if you have a really old Kindle, like I know the older ones don't have a backlight, so you can only read them by having your lights on or by daylight. So at nighttime you have to keep all your lamps on because you obviously can't fucking see what you're reading. In that regard, I would say yes, get the latest Kindle because it has a light and you can actually see what the bloody hell you're reading, like what's written there. Yeah, you don't need them all. Having said that, has anyone seen that mini Kindle, that pocket Kindle that keeps getting talked about on TikTok?
Whatever you do with your time and your money is completely your business. Since posting on here, I've definitely ended up buying and reading a lot more books than I did before, and should listen to my own advice.
Yeah, I know, but you know what? You only live once, I don't know. Okay, let's watch this one. Deinfluencing, Book Talk, and recovering from bookish burnout.
As you guys may know, I am recovering from BookTok burnout and the general overconsumption of books.
I know she's probably going to say about how she needs to get rid of some of these books, but this bookshelf looks beautiful. Look at all those books, so pretty. I can see why people collect them because that's why I collect them, because I like looking at them. That sounds, I know how it sounds, but those editions do look stunning.
Owning UK and a US edition of the books that I like. Since the content is absolutely the same, I never ever reach for either the UK or the US copy. I don't think I'll ever read both, if that makes sense. So I definitely feel like I wasted my money on that. Number 2, multiple bookish subscriptions.
Another one about book subscriptions. Every time I come across someone who's talking about book subscriptions, they'll literally sign up to like 5. That's a lot of money, I have to say. And I do feel like you're going to get a lot of books that you're not going to want to read, but they look pretty. It's the other stuff that comes with it. The book box that I had during lockdown, that came with like, sometimes like just like sweets or like hot chocolate, and then it would come with random like plaques with certain things on from a book, some postcards. There was some random stuff, like maybe some jewelry, but I'm really fussy with my jewelry. I don't want like weird hair shit. I'm too particular, I think, to sign up to a book box. Maybe I should just do it to try it. I don't know.
There is a high probability that all of the bookish boxes that you're subscribing to will do the same book, and that's exactly what happened to me with the Dowry of Blood. That was done both by Fairy Loot and by Bookish Box. The same happened with Book of Night by Holly Black. It was done by Lumicrate and by Fairy Loot, and I actually did not like Book of Night. It was completely redundant and completely unnecessary to have both. Dust jackets. Specifically, it's purchasing multiple box sets just to fit the dust jackets. You can buy multiple sets and maybe interchange them and store them in the meantime, but you don't need to buy 2 separate box sets just to display both the dust jackets.
I recently have looked into dust jackets. Oh god. I mean, just like one set. There are a lot of sets out there, especially on Etsy, people make them, but they're really pretty.
My bookshelves are starting to look a little cramped, so I think it's time for a book on haul.
I can see some of those editions, or they've all got sprayed edges. That's what I think gets people, and me too. It's obviously the covers, it's sprayed edges. Even if it's got like a dust jacket already, I always take the dust jacket off to see if there's any like embossing on the actual book itself, and that's always exciting. Who sees that? It goes on the shelf, no one sees that. I don't even look at it when I'm reading it, but I don't know what it is, I just like the look of it. But I can see here, look at all those sprayed edges, they look really nice. But I see what she means, like there's a lot of books there, there's literally no gaps. She's definitely running out of space.
I should probably get rid of these 2. Honestly, I think the only reason I've kept them for so long is because I think the covers are really pretty, but I just thought these books were so boring. Spice Road can go. I've read some reviews about this book, and it seems like the general consensus is that the main character is kind of annoying, and if there's anything that's going to get me to the end of the book fast, it's going to be an annoying main character.
I have a story about annoying main characters. So I did have the box set of True Blood, but Sookie Stackhouse pissed me off. My god, she was so fucking wet and just like so annoying. It was summer and she was in a bikini and she was like, oh, my bikini's loose this summer because I've lost weight. It's too loose. I don't know. It just fucking annoyed me. Sorry, pardon my language. But anyway, yes, I think if you have books with shitty, annoying, boring main characters, get rid of them.
This Vicious Grace and this Cursed Light duology, I thought the first book was really good when I initially read it. The second book felt pretty flat for me, and I think it just kind of ruined the whole series. For this one, I liked the first book, didn't like the second book, never bought the special edition of it, so I don't need this one anymore.
I hear that quite often about a lot of series, that the first ones are always good, and then, I mean, I know I've read series too, but I mean, a lot of these like romantic-y fantasy ones, I'm still kind of getting into that genre. I'm very new to it. I do hear that either they're like rushed out, they're rush written the second one, because I guess the first one goes viral, perhaps, but that people don't enjoy the second ones. But you buy the second one anyway, right? Because you got the first one, or you buy the next two, so you got the whole trilogy.
Not bad for now, I think. This felt pretty cathartic.
I mean, out of all those books, oh, she did well. She made a dent.
Okay to have the dream of over 1,000 books and having your own indoor library. I have that same dream myself. For glamorizing putting yourself into debt to have this beautiful BookTok's space to become popular on BookTok, it's not cool. BookTok's not worth going into debt for.
Absolutely.
Okay, to have some empty spaces on your bookshelf. I have some behind me. I'm not keen on filling it until I've read some more of my books, but that's just me.
I agree with that. When I redid my bookshelf ready for like this, I do have a lot of like spaces now, so I've kind of utilized them by putting other things in there for the meantime. And like that was something that I had to just learn to like, is the gaps, because my bookshelves used to be just like chock-a-block with stuff, and I had stuff in there that again I wouldn't reread. I had doubles of stuff. I completely agree.
We have all seen those huge wall-to-wall libraries filled with books that people have here on TikTok. And let me just say, you do not need to own a wall of books. Having a wall of books doesn't make you a better or more passionate book reader than someone else. For instance, here is my bookshelf. I also have one more downstairs that has mine and my husband's favorite books. Here's the deal. I literally do not buy books until usually after I read them and decide they are one of my favorites and I want to reread them again.
Okay, hang on. So I decided this recently that I wasn't going to buy any more books until I'd read the Kindle version. And then I thought to myself, what I'll do is I will invest in like a special edition of it because I liked it. But I don't know if I would then read that special edition, if I just want to have it. Do I need to be Deinfluenced?
I read over 100 books last year, and literally every single book I read on this Kindle.
Oh, she read 100 books in a year. When I was doing that Goodreads challenge, literally, I think it was 24 for the year. I thought 2 books a month is totally reasonable, realistic. I do wish I could consume books faster, but I'm just a really slow reader, and I don't have a lot of time.
You can still be a great book reader without filling your walls with a beautifully aesthetic library. Also, I want to add that you do not need a Kindle. You can read Kindle Unlimited from your phone, from an iPad, just like any device you have. So you do not need to buy a Kindle either.
Okay, that's a good point. You actually don't. I find that I use the Kindle app on my phone more than my actual Kindle. Usually because if I'm out and about and I'm like sat somewhere for a minute, I will just get out the app on my phone. When I'm at the gym and I get my steps in on one of them, I read and I have my Kindle app on here. It's just easier rather than taking my actual Kindle to the gym. So you're right, you don't even need a Kindle. Didn't even think about that actually. Of course you can get the Kindle app on your phone or your iPad. Oh god, look at me guys. I'm being de-influenced. Have you seen that there's a new Kindle color? And I was like, that's so confusing because isn't it color anyway? Like for example, when you load oh, did you see it? It was so quick. The front cover is colour. But what I hadn't realised, or I kind of just forgot, I guess, that on your actual Kindle, the one that I've got, it's not colour. But apparently they're releasing a colour Kindle, so you can see the colour of what though? Like what? The front cover? You never look at the front cover. But you know what? If you want to buy the colour Kindle, get the colour Kindle. Just quick, if you haven't seen the Pocket Kindle, because I actually might get this, let me just quickly show you a video. It's very, very cute. It's probably the same size as my phone. to be honest. Probably don't need it. Am I gonna get it? I don't know. I'm thinking about it. Maybe I'm just making this video to de-influence myself. This is my therapy session on de-influencing Ashton. But I just thought that would be an interesting video for us to look at together. It's definitely something that I need help with sometimes. The other thing is TikTok shop making me buy book related things. I actually do want. I haven't yet bought them, but I'm biding my time till payday, so maybe I will. We'll see. Anyway, I hope this video has de-influenced you. Hopefully not influenced you too much. Says me as I just spoke about that mini Kindle and dust jackets and some other stuff that I might possibly buy. I think consumerism is good to a point. Obviously, it can get out of control. As long as you're not putting yourself in any financial dangers, then do what you want. Thank you so much for joining me and being here today. I really do appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe and become part of the club, and hopefully I'll see you next week. Bye!